Let's start the second part of the video by talking about the elephant in the room, while I'm pulling back to the patrol waypoint. The fundamentalists are using the fucking 2160 Blackjack. Both Gargoyle and Unicorn Flight ran into 4 of those each, I guess. That's 8 total. Wait, who's that flying? Ah, it's Unicorn Flight and their upgraded Falcons. Anyway, that's 8 Blackjacks down today. Roughly 2/3 of what Russia could ever field for such a mission. And Russia is the only operator, and those planes are rare enough to have individual names like ships. So how the fuck did these guys get 8 for a throwaway bombing run? Oh, and the best part is that the Blackjack is only formally a bomber. It's much more likely to carry cruise missiles and fire them off before entering the range of enemy air defenses. So this mission, while cool, makes absolutely no sense. If you want to have an idea of what the 2160 looks like before we get to the replay, imagine the American B-1B bomber, paint it white and make it bigger.
Targeting 135.
Roger. Starboard, we're bugging out of here. We can't keep up.
Starboard copies. Get clear.
I don't know what Unicorn is complaining about, although they do fly Falcons. I want speed and altitude, and this plane is giving them to me. So, as of today, you've seen every brand new plane added to Energy Airforce in aimStrike. Those are the Hornet, the Eagle and the Warthog. To me, the FA-18 looks like the best of the bunch simply because it's ready for every mission type. Coincidentally, it's also the plane on the cover and on the save icon. The F-15 is awesome, but it's the only plane in the entire game that can't do ground attack, at all. The A-10 is useless for air-to-air and can't carry most of the weapons in the game, not to mention it being slow. I do appreciate the game adjusting the timings to let us fly the mission at its pace, but it's still no fun. Look, there's 20 miles to the next waypoint. We're estimated to arrive in a minute and a half.
Gargoyle Flight, we show you at waypoint 4.
Confirm waypoint, Starburst.
Targeted at bearing 120.
Roger.
Unicorn Flight, we show you at waypoint 4.
Starboard, copy waypoint data.
I've cut out 2 minutes of A-10 covering a similar distance, and that was just a drop in the bucket. Regardless, all 3 planes made it to the back of the game's cover, advertised as new. The box does not mention any of the old planes. In fact, the game's box expects you to be familiar with the first Energy Airforce. It says this one has new flyyables, better graphics, better physics, and a new game mode, Strike. The graphics do look nice from here. Satellite photos. It's strange to me that aimStrike is promoted as a successor to the first game, because that one was very different, kinda shit, very obscure, and even today there's barely any info about it online.
Gargoyle Flight, we show you at waypoint 5. Target is at bearing 165.
Roger. I take back the Ohio comment, Unicorn. Never saw any fulcrums on the turnpike. Tell me about it. My drone's still flowing. Never gets any easier, does it?
Still never released in America. It's easier for me to find Andorra on the world map than Ohio. But I do appreciate the use of real-world geography. Keeps the dialogue shorter. I mean, imagine someone trying to make a "my mother lives there" remark in a game with a fully made-up world.
Unicorn Flight, we show you at waypoint 5.
Uniform 1 copies.
Next thing you know, they spout out encyclopedic paragraphs on local flora and fauna and prominent geographical features. I'm half a minute too fast, but I don't care.
Gargoyle flight, we show you at waypoint 6. Target is at bearing 255.
Gargoyle flight, cleared on final. Switching tower.
Why is everything so long about this base? First it was taxiing, now we've got 10 miles to set up the approach. I can't even see the runway yet, not a single light. Well, something is showing.
Unicorn flight, we show you at waypoint 6.
Uniform 1. Tower, Gargoyle checking in. Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound. Report 3 miles with the gear.
I can do the gear thing now.
Tower, Gargoyle. 3 down and locked. Gargoyle, clear to land runway at 27. Wind light and variable. Gargoyle, we have you in sight. Continue inbound.
Today I again feel like actually following the ILS for a while. It looks like it expects us to touch down at the end of the flashing lights. And now I'm flying exactly where it wants us to be. Except the plane is drifting a little, as usual. And I'm too fast again. This could have been better, but the plane is intact and the mission is cleared. That's all I want from a landing. That and the ability to use a drag chute to brake faster. Do they still carry them? Again with this bloody music. Game, we need to talk about your soundtrack. I probably should have tried to take off right here. The ADATS thing parked nearby is the Air Defense Anti-Tank System. It's a weird piece of machinery armed with dual-purpose missiles capable in theory of attacking both air and ground targets. I can't find much about it. The project was developed during the Cold War to protect forward bases. And then the Cold War fizzled out, officially at least, and the remaining enemies of the United States didn't have much in terms of air power. It looks like the only country that actually uses that thing is Canada. Every time I hear everybody push, I'm reminded this is not push it to the limit, but this is not Scarface, the world is yours. You can't have everything. We're still not even in the spotting the first fulcrum stage. The enemies have been pretty tame so far. Sure, I've been hit by a couple of R-60s, but there haven't been any attempts at attacking us with the Adder. I hope it's just me and the AI being good at killing enemies and not some sort of emulation glitch. This camera angle is telling. Hey, you can actually see the glowing green HUD in Eagle's cockpit from some angles. This is me avoiding the two MiG-29s. The real fun is about to start. Gergo to set this one out. Okay, here's a chance to look at the blackjack. If the camera allows it. But that did look like a 2-160. A child's drawing of a 2-160, but there was certain likeness. Also, they have countermeasures apparently. They could probably downscale this model and use it for a B1B if they wanted to. There is that last bomber I couldn't get a lock on because it was too low. I'm here to hunt the MiG. Did it really take me that long to find it? I missed? I don't remember that. Another thing I like about aimStrike is that your missiles guide in the general direction of the target. Oh, I did shoot that MiG down. In Strike Fighters 2, anything that guided properly always homed in perfectly at either the center of the enemy plane or at one of the engines. Here we get a lot of near misses and chances for proximity fuses to do their job. This is a chasing missile, should give us a bit more time to see the target, once I wrestle with the camera. Awesome. Special. Right, for stage 2 we shall go on air defense suppression. The scenario briefing warned us about this, and we haven't tried this mission type yet. But you, the threat, are going to pick the plane, bearing in mind that it's too early for the bloody A-10 and the Eagle can't do attack. So effectively you get to choose between the F-16, the other F-16 or the FA-18 to deal with the enemy SAMs next time. I know, I'm just spoiling you with all this choice.